What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Shooting the Shift. That there is Matthew.
We are mullet free.
That there is Ryan. I don't know what the full version of Ryan is. Is it just Ryan?
No,
You've
say the
never
name.
called him Ryan.
Say the name again.
Ryan.
No.
Ryanathan? Is that your full proper name?
No.
Ryanathan Milton!
There we go. You got there in the end.
Bryn's abandoned us, so it's probably going to be chaos again this week. We've come up with a topic all on our own that avoids us needing to talk about engineering too, so that's dangerous.
Is it walking? How to walk?
It is how to walk. You put one foot in front of the other, and then hopefully you move forward, but if you do it too quickly and you lean forward too much, you might face plant the floor.
Good to know. So, thanks for subscribing. Make sure to like and thing. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Brilliant. We made it through without a wishy thing and everything, boys. Now, as a genuine thing, this episode, we're going to talk about used cars you should own. So we've done some research this week. We've had a look at what you can get for under 10 grand, right? Which means, actually, comparing to buying a new car, you could have 2 or maybe 3 in some of these cases and still just spend just as much money if you took out a bank loan. Or maybe you're rich and you can afford 30 grand in cash. In which case, give me some, you greedy.
2 minutes in and Bam's already sworn.
I've already cleaned the dog poop, so there you go. Right.
Anyway,
What's the first subject? What's the first
What's the
category?
The first category is the one that I think we all have, actually. No, we don't all have. Because this one doesn't. A family wagon.
I had a family wagon, and now I have a family saloon, and then the NC is going to be on the road properly, and I won't have it.
Yeah.
But it was a Mazda 6.
So we're talking about family cars, like your daily,
Daily
essential,
drivers, yeah.
boring.
Daily drivers / workhorse, because obviously it's an estate, so you can cram many.
It doesn't have to be an
tires.
estate, though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
I mean, wagon means estate.
I am going to throw out there, no, because technically a wagon is a covered large body for transporting goods. And that is where I am going to throw out my first contender to this. At £6,300, the Honda Mobilio Spike, freshly imported from Japan, gentlemen.
But of course you've got a Spike. I'm... Yeah, any of the variety of toasters that Japan makes.
Toasty Boys.
The Spike, the Cube.
Yep.
The SMX.
Yep.
And any
Tanto,
of those.
Daihatsu Tanto, 660 cc's of pure peril.
Yep.
Yeah, any of those boxy cars, they do the job really well because they get loads of headroom. They got big boots and everything. So.
Yep.
It's literally what they're designed for. They're K cars, isn't there? It's a whole separate video. We'll get on to
Well,
that.
no. The Spike is not a K car. It's categorically too big and too big an engine. So too much power.
I think the Cubes are too big to be K cars as well.
You know, we just gone about 666 engines.
Yeah, the Daihatsu Tanto is a K car and it's ridiculous. And we will do an episode on K cars. But actually, thinking about it, we went into this and we were talking about family wagons. And it popped into my brain after we spent a lot of time discussing actual estates that you'd probably actually think about buying if you were a normal human being, right? So things like the Volvo 240, or as Matt put it, any Volvo, stop being weird, Bam.
Yeah, any Volvo, including the hatchbacks, they're all cool. They all do the job.
Except I had the S60, and it was brilliant. Except the boot is awful because it goes like that, but the glass.
because of the way that the box was on the back, your boot went under the rear window, and it was really awkward to put stuff in.
It's really awkward, yeah.
I'll put it this way: we had, the metal 20-litre fuel cans.
Yeah.
You can't stand that up vertically in that boot. It's not deep enough.
Okay, like it.
But you could put 8 of them in if you laid it down and pushed them all the way to the back.
Yeah.
So it was deep, just not very high.
Just buy the estate version.
Yeah.
The estate would be good.
Insignia, Milton had one. Milton's got one.
It's a good car. It's hasn't done me wrong. There's plenty of boot space.
Everybody will think you're a travelling sales rep for some company, though.
Or I keep Werther's Originals and hang around schools, yeah?
Yeah, that's the other one.
I'm always going to campaign the Mazda 6. I've had 2. Because it's Japanese, it's ridiculously rammed full of tech.
It was
and
really
they just
nice.
don't go wrong. I had mine for 3.5 years, I needed an aux belt. That was it. And every single person that ever got in it went, oh, this is nice. And I know at least 2 people that have bought one since being in mine.
I am going to throw out there as the final entry to this round, because they're everywhere. But Bryn would be able to confirm Rusty Archie boy. VW Passat Estates, actually, they're just a bit of a mile muncher. Get the diesel one, it'll...
I'll tell you what a good tip is. Somebody, I can't remember who told me this. Have a look at what cars your local taxi driver's using.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are reliable and will do a lot of miles.
Do you remember that on that? It's a bit of a tangent, but do you remember the Peugeot 407?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
That was what every taxi driver owned. But now they're all gone.
Yep.
I swear it was a Peugeot 407.
There was a 406.
406?
Yeah, there was the weird 406. That was a weird shape. But
anyway.
but you see them. They use Passats. They use... you don't see that many Mazda 6 taxis, actually.
See a lot of Audis.
The Passat. Yeah, they use a lot of Audis. The problem you've got is Audis and BMWs and Mercedes, in fact, modern ones, are great, comfortable, they're full of tech, but they go wrong. They're going to cost you an arm and a leg, as well as your partner's arm and a leg.
Maybe your left nut as well. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, they're just pricey to run, and that's, I think, one of the things you've got to consider is running costs on buying a used car.
Yeah, moving promptly on from
away from the sensible subject,
away from the boring things. We next thought about lumpy bumpy land, right, and going off road, and I am going to open this with, and I have driven many of them during my time. You cannot go wrong.
Is it a Willys Jeep?
I'm not that old, Milton.
Sorry.
But I would drive one into you just to see what happens to your smug little grin when I hit you with it. Land Rover Defender.
Yeah, somebody says to you off-road car, that's immediately your first thought.
If you say
I've never driven off-road apart from at a car show or nothing exuberant. So
I have had Land Rover Defenders at all kinds of silly angles that you should not put cars at, and been entirely confident in the vehicle. Like, as long as it's not rusted, and that is a Land Rover problem, that they go a little bit rusty. Even to go as far as, I did have a Series 3 at one point with a view to fixing it up, and now Barefoot's got it. If you've seen Barefoot's Series 3. It is nice now. I want it back, but he won't sell it back to me for what he bought it for.
Shock.
It's just not on.
Insert Pikachu shocked face here.
Suzuki Jimny's good.
Yeah.
The old Jimny, yeah. They're
Mike
getting cheap.
Carmod's got one, and they're surprisingly quite capable for how
That's
small they
a
are.
new one, wasn't it? Or was it the old one? No, it's sure it's a new one.
It wasn't the absolutely modern one, like brand new one, but
yeah.
I think it was this. I think there's 2 shapes. I think it was a slightly newer one.
I think it is. I think it is the.
Can you still get Jeeps under 10k?
I don't think you can get a Wrangler under 10k anymore.
The
Jeep, hang on, I'll just have a quick look.
Freelander.
Patriot, Grand Cherokee.
No, they're not proper off-roaders, mate. They're SUVs.
Wrangler. There you go.
Yeah. Wrangler.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, $6,500.
Right, I'm going to retract everything I've said so far, having owned and lived with one for a while when I lived in the States, right? Go and buy a Wrangler, take all the bits of bodywork that come off it, just wear some sunglasses to stop the flies, like, spearing you in the eyes, and just wang it through sand. It is the greatest thing ever.
I'm just trying to think of any other off-road companies.
You've got Toyota. You've got the Land Cruiser. The effectively the Arab version of the Defender and the Wrangler. You know, like if you go out to Dubai and Saudi Arabia, they are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
When Top Gear went to, was it Bolivia when they had the off-road cars? What did James May take? It was a Suzuki, wasn't it? But I don't think it was a Jimny, was it?
God, no, it was an original Suzuki rep of like a Willys Jeep. I remember what it. Yeah, I remember it.
Was that Hammond that had it?
No, Hammond had a Land Cruiser, I think.
Yeah, Hammond had a Land Cruiser.
Type
Clarkson had Vitara.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it
Clarkson
was
had
a
the Jeep.
Clarkson had
Cherokee.
a Series 1 Range Rover.
Yeah.
Was it Range Rover?
And actually,
Yeah,
Range Rovers are very capable off-roaders.
they
Yeah.
proved it.
Yeah.
Right, what's the next category?
The next category to peruse your mind state and cerebral palace. Oh, no, I'm just using big words to try and impress the audience now. Is
It's not working.
still pretty,
Is
still prettier than you there,
Is.
Matt. Is hybrids.
Tesla. Tesla, that's it, move on. Next.
That's
Tesla's-
not a hybrid.
It's not even a hybrid. There's no electric cars that are sub 10k used yet, I don't think.
I'll have
Matt.
a quick. I had Auto Trader open for research earlier. I'll have a quick.
Have a quick shufty. But actually, sub
Well,
10k,
hybrids.
sub 10k.
So hybrids.
I would say so. The Toyota Prius is a good hybrid. However, I would not want to be seen dead in a Toyota Prius. So, I would go and buy a Lexus CT200H because it's a Prius in a pretty frock.
That is what it is.
Hybrids that are sub 10k. Dave's just bought one. Honda Civic. There's one. They've been making them since 2004. Apparently, there's one here. 2004 Honda Civic 995.
Yeah, but I don't. If I was going to buy a hybrid, I wouldn't immediately go to Civic. Personally, I'd
What
go
was
to.
Nissan Serena.
I suspect that is ugly as fuck with a name like that.
It's like an L Grand.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think like there's cool stuff. There's cool looking stuff though. Like, you know, your run of the mill daily Honda Civic is not cool. Like you could of the Honda hybrids, like the Honda Insight is just a bonkers future looking thing.
Yeah, and that was built in the 90s.
Yep.
As it turns out, the modern Suzuki Ignis is hybrid.
Oh, there you go. Found it.
They're coming in sub 10k along with the Suzuki Swift.
Matt, look up the Vauxhall Ampera. That looks quite cool. I remember AMP.
That's not sub 10k yet. Not an Auto Trader anyway.
I remember racing them in Forza, and they were really good at Le Mans if you had it in automatic, because it would have.
The thing I'd point out though is if you're going to buy a hybrid at this point, I'd buy one from a manufacturer that's been making them for a while. So Toyota's got the technology nailed down now because they've been making them since like 98 or whatever year the Prius came out. And their entire range now is pretty much hybrid. I don't think you can buy a Toyota that's not a hybrid at this point. Lexus as well. They've been making them for at least 10 years.
All the Lexuses are essentially the Toyota drivetrains in pretty frocks with nicer interiors.
Well, Lexus is, isn't it? Lexus is Toyotas, but they're premium badge.
Yeah, if I'm recommending a hybrid at this point, one of those two.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All day, every day, and that is
moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly. We are rapidly approaching some actual fun stuff, and I am going to dare to go with luxury barges next.
So this is when you're in
I'm
your
going
late
to speak
50s.
on the behalf. I'm going to speak on the behalf of Bryn here, who's not here. GS300.
Yes, willing to accept that. I am going to speak on behalf of me, who is here, and say there are some old Rolls Royces that are sub £10,000 periodically. And some vintage Bentleys. I think it's the silver. I think it's the Silver Shadow or the Silver Spirit, Matt. It's normally
while
in that
Matt
process.
does that,
yeah.
I really want is one Clarkson I do. I can't remember what video it was on. It was blue. Excuse me, and it's the Jaguar XJ.
Beautiful.
I do like it. I do like a Jag.
Yeah.
Because prior to buying the NC, I was considering buying one, and I found the XJR, so the V8 supercharged version, for $5,000.
That's the great thing in this category. All the V8s are getting really cheap because nobody wants to run a V8 car anymore.
Yeah. Rolls Royce. There are 3 Rolls Royces currently for sale for less than £10,000.
What are they?
Ooh.
Silver Spirit, Silver Spur, and then another Silver Spirit.
I was right with my Silver Spirit as well. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want true luxury for under 10 grand, get a Rolls Royce and then
But
give
what
it to
would
me.
you?
There's a couple of old Bentley turbos as well.
Yeah.
What would you rather roll in though? A Lexus GS or Rolls?
A vintage Rolls.
But would you make it to the event in the Rolls?
If
There's
somebody
only...
turned around to you and said, "What are you driving at the moment?" and you said Rolls Royce, that's a baller move.
Yeah. And actually,
Instead of-
and actually, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you like and subscribe to this channel, at the very first point that we have £40,000, we will live this used car fantasy list. We will go off and buy something, one from each category. We'll fight for a category. Milton will lose.
Hey,
Well, actually, Matt might lose. Thinking about it, we could all gang up on Matt, and then
is it last one to arrive gets the worst?
last one to arrive wins a genuine wooden spoon.
Why not? We all get one of the categories. We all buy a car from our given category.
Yeah.
And then we have a long ass like Top Gear style challenges.
Totally. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got to like and subscribe, and then rather than just giving you lists of stuff, you can see what we would do should we have this money. Because at the moment, we're just a poor boy from a poor family. Scaramouche, do the fandango.
Yeah, I'm
copyright.
down for doing Top Gear challenges.
Anyway, so we've
Anyway,
done
back on topic.
barges.
No, we haven't though, because we've not even discussed old BM5 series like the E39 V8.
Yeah, old Mercs as well. Because
Yeah.
you have to remember, for a lot of stuff that's now standard in cars, the C-Class was one of the first cars to bring it up standard.
Wasn't
If
it
you
the
want-
E-Class?
Yeah,
Or C or E.
if you wanna look like a world class dictator, then go and get yourself a vintage Mercedes-Benz E-Class.
Yeah, because if you want to know what tech's coming in your car in 5 years, look at the now E-Class.
If you want to look like a proper dictator, buy a Daimler limousine.
All the Daimler is a Jag with a different badge though, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, no, there's a Daimler limousine and a Daimler Sovereign, both on Auto Trader. But it's got that classic 80s. That it's got that look about it. So same look that your old sort of roller was holding. It was like, yeah, the old XJ Jags and that sort of stuff.
There is lots.
You can't. There's a lot, and it's kind of you pick your brand and you're pretty much set.
Yeah, there is a lot of luxury barges kicking about for not a lot of money because people don't want cars that big anymore.
Yeah, we've touched on it in a previous episode that it got to a point where everybody just wanted the economical cheap boxes.
Yeah,
Problem is, car parking spaces aren't big enough nowadays either.
No, and I have that problem with the Stagia actually, that I hang about a foot out of parking spaces on a fairly regular basis.
I still don't know how big my arse is in my car.
Yeah, that was one of the benefits of the Mazda 6 was it was a fraction smaller than your Stagia, and it had parking sensors all around.
Fair
What's
enough.
the next
The
category?
next category is probably the one we're going to get caught up on the most, disagree on the most. And that is the hot hatch.
See, when somebody says to me hot hatch, the one that springs to mind is like the original Clio.
I was about to
So
say
the 172, the 182.
All right, what are you going to say, Milton?
Or if you've got a money tree in your back garden, a 30 grand V6 Clio.
Yeah. Sporty, it's, I hate to say it because they've got such a stigma, but the Fiestas are meant to be really good on track.
That's the thing. They are really, really good hot hatches, but the people who drive them are not.
Yeah.
The people themselves don't make good hot hatches. You can't climb in them and drive them around really fast.
No, the ones that hang around McDonald's with the
those ones. They ruin the rep of the Fiesta. The same way that they did with like the Citroen Saxo and the original like the Corsa V. Because they're good cars. They just got a bad reputation because of the people who drove them.
I don't think it. I think it's a small number of people that ruin the reputation of those cars. What I am gonna say is, it's really hot in here. So bear with me one moment, sport fans. There's about to be a whooshy thing. Yeah, sorry about that, viewers. As you all know, we are filming this in the middle of a heat wave for 2 weeks' time, and it's hot, real
Back
hot.
on topic,
Yep.
I would like to reinstate us with the Mazda 3 MPS.
Yeah. Okay. Willing to accept that. It's not a bad shout.
Especially if you buy the right ones, the turbo.
I'm going to throw a couple of...
Hot hatches. This is going back to my Xbox and Forza days. We did a great racing series in the Toyota Yaris.
Yeah.
Yeah, the T-Sport Yaris.
It didn't. I think it was the one before that, but
yeah, Nicole nearly bought a T-Sport Yaris actually. They're
but that and the Clio.
1.6. I think they're about 150 horsepower, and they weigh nothing because they're a tiny hatchback.
Right. You've all missed the point of this entirely. Yeah, and I'm afraid, boys, you got it wrong. Right. Gonna two here right now that are under 10 grand. Honda Civic Type R's and Mini Cooper S's.
Yeah, my next entry was going to be a Mini Cooper S.
Can't get over the huge grandfather clock speedo, so the policeman behind you can see that you know that you're speeding.
It's not that big if you get one with a sat nav in that hole.
And if you get one of these cars with big digital dashes, you can read those as well from the next car over.
Yeah.
Which is why you want a classic Honda Civic.
I'm just actually checking because for a while Subaru did the Impreza in that little hatchback that nobody likes the shape of, but I quite like.
What? 2008. I like that one.
Yeah, I like that one as well, but I don't know whether you can get them for under 10 grand.
Don't think so yet.
Especially the hot hatch version because they did like a WRX STI version.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. Anyway, we've been filming now for maybe half an hour or so with edits. You've been watching for maybe 20 minutes. And it's the most important category of all.
Is it which Daewoo Matiz colour you get him?
No. It is what is the best Dacia Sandero to buy used.
One of each. They're that cheap.
No, no, incorrect, gentlemen. The most important car that you're ever going to buy used, because no one can afford a brand new one anymore, not when you common young lads like us, is what is the best sporty boy to buy for under £10,000?
MX-5. Case closed.
Yep, MX-5.
Well, that was short-lived. I was going to say there's some Porsche Boxsters kicking about.
Actually, I think at this point in time, you can buy all 4 marks of MX-5 for less than 10 grand.
What? One of each?
You can't get
as in all of them are just about. The Mark IV is just about dipping under 10 grand, but you get the choice of all 3.
You could get a Mark 1, a Mark 2, and a Mark 3 with change of 10 grand.
So, Sporty Boys. Apparently, the answer is still MX-5, but it's not.
But if
it's in this case, it's not the only answer.
If the MX-5 isn't available because you've already got one of them because they're the best car ever.
Yeah.
The other Sporty Boys.
You can still pick up an FC RX-7.
Yeah.
For less than 10 grand, if you fancy some triangles. RX-8 as well.
Yep.
I'm sure they're pretty good.
You can still get things like the Porsche Boxster.
If we're on the 2-seater convertible train, S2000s.
Yep.
MR2s.
What about
Yep.
S13, S14?
Just if you get a ropey one.
You can get
or
some.
a completely stock one.
In fairness, you can get some Skylines for under 10k still.
Depending on which version you get, but yeah.
But you are absolutely replacing the strut tops within about 2 days of getting it.
Two-seater sports cars, Z3, Z4.
We need to have a discussion about an
The
immediate...
drifted one they handle quite well.
No. They're just... I don't. This is coming from a man who owns an MX-5 Mark 1. They are just too hairdressery for me.
What about Suzuki Cappuccino? Or is that not sporty
All
enough for you?
day, every day. I think Milton's got something to say because he's just put himself off mute.
I thought I wasn't. Yeah. What was? I can't remember what I was going to say now.
350Z.
Yes.
That's what I said. 350Z.
So-
Someone can lip read. That's what I thought you said. Two hairdressers. I was like, they're not really hairdressing.
No, the BMW Z3 and Z4 are though.
Curveball, Mitsubishi Colt.
No.
I think of that as a hatchback, not a sporty boy.
Yeah, it probably. To be fair, it probably. Well, there's two versions. There's the hatchback version. There's a convertible version. The convertible version is not a looker in any way, shape, or form, so it probably would fall back in the original.
There is one. I don't know if it would count, but I don't know if you can get it under 10k. I talked to Bam in the week about it. The Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Yes.
Yeah.
They only sold them in America.
Yeah, you'd have to import one, so you might struggle to get them under 10.
I don't know. My Spike came into the country for 6.5.
Yeah, but yours wasn't in Fast and Furious.
I mean, it basically was because it's
Hang on.
supposed to.
Right, so if anyone sees a Spike in any of their Fast and Furious,
Let us know.
yeah, tag VRS.
This is the bit where I prove via magical footage, if I've been bothered to edit it, with a screen of Dominic Toretto and just like a cutout of my Spike going across the screen.
Can you put family on the side of it?
Back on topic, Lotus Elan.
What about an Elise? Could you get an
Yeah.
Elise for under 10?
No, there's 3 Lotuses. Lotusi?
Lotus.
There's 3 Elans on Auto Trader. They are 8, 9, and 9 grand.
Okay, right. So you can get spoilers. So the moral of this story is, right, for under 10k,
Got a lot of choice.
you've got a lot of scope. So why are you going out and putting a 30 grand car on finance?
On Auto Trader, at this very moment in time, if the only filter you have is maximum £10,000, there are 174,191 cars to choose from.
Right, it's time to start a revolution, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get on my political high horse here for the very first time and
So
say
Shetland pony.
it is, and yet still taller than you riding a normal horse, Milton.
I'm not actually that small. Go on.
Right, getting on my political Shetland pony, and that is
Just one more sporty boy. Triumph Spitfire. Just as something completely out there.
I don't think that's really a sporty boy. That's a classic boy.
Oh yeah, 1961.
That is a granddad. So anyway, back to the important
Yeah,
point.
carry on.
Yeah. Now that Matt has finally mentioned a granddad car, and we could make the obvious joke, but we're not going to because he's actually younger than me. Back on my political high horse. The bankers, stop buying cars on finance, go and get a classic boy, then we can get normal fuel back in fuel pumps. All this E10 nonsense can off, and we can turn the M525 into a racetrack if you make me the Prime Minister. There we go. Done. Because Boris Johnson at it, everybody tells me every day. Am I getting arrested for treason because of that new law they passed?
You feel
Maybe
better
not a
now?
reporter.
That's true.
Do you feel better now, Bam?
I'm just an idiot on the internet with an opinion, Boris, so you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
sure
yeah.
he sits down and watches this every week and down the street.
I'm going to make a...
I mean, he's
YouTube account.
self-isolated. He's probably got nothing else to do.
You mean... No, you done it before this.
Hey, look, he is the only politician I have yet to release a sticker about that's globally famous.
Yet.
This time.
Is there any merch drop? Bam. Is there any merch drops to do?
There is. Well, it's not.
If you want to date the episode, then yes.
It's not a new merch drop actually, but it is something quite cool that we've been working on for a while. And we finally got the boxes in, and we've had a new delivery of the fancy boxes that we use sometimes. So, and we've now built a proper jig so that it doesn't look as janky as the test box, with its like slightly scattery holes in it. But if I just plug a little Yuri into a USB battery brick, these are now available on the website and will be for quite a while. They're seeming to be very popular as well. And all the money helps us do cool stuff on the channel. So thanks to everyone that bought one and paid for the drone that now appears footage in our event videos. That was super appreciated. And we've got a plan for a new follow car for Milton that we need to do a bit of development work on, but that'll be really cool because it's going to be about 1/10 the size of Milton's car. And if we get really lucky, we'll get it underneath Milton's car while we're filming for a really interesting shot.
And if you get it really unlucky, it'll end up under his tyre.
That's why we're going to use cheap GoPros on it, mate.
No, Bam, you forget, Brent, Matt, Bam, Steve, Alan.
Everyone.
Alan!
You forget that it's my RC car.
You avoid running your own car over.
Yeah.
With your own car.
But just don't paint it blue and I won't crash into it.
Is that your special power, Milton? Blue cars?
I just seem to crash into blue cars.
Then me and the R Limited need to stay away from you.
You are a blue car. Do you crash into yourself?
I mean, I changed my exhaust.
That's his excuse for crashing into walls, Matt.
I fixed it already. Bit of T-cut's fine. That was just a shout out to Tristan. Hi, Tristan.
Oh, right, yes. So, actually, really important news. By the time you watch this, in a couple of weeks' time, because we're a little bit ahead. So, the week before this, this weekend, Milton has been on an adventure.
Yes? Yeah.
Milton has been on an adventure. So, very shortly after this episode airs, if Milton's done well, will come another video of us lot celebrating Milton's great and mighty victory.
The thing is, he's not overselling this one.
I am not overselling this one.
Yeah.
Milton has somehow got himself into the qualifiers for Gymkhana Grid.
Do we have to record a version for if he didn't qualify and then we just edit in each one?
No, he has qualified. He has got himself into the qualification round.
Yeah, I'm into the qualifier. It's either a quick backstory. It's in Northern Ireland. It's an event over there. So it's this weekend. No, it's next weekend.
Last weekend, actually.
Last weekend.
Goes out.
The 30th and 31st and 1st of August is that weekend.
So you guys are watching this on the 1st. Milton is back from Ireland, and we are either cooking something up to come out tomorrow night, or you're going to get a 10-second video of me going, sorry.
Milton didn't do it.
Milton let us all down.
Doing my best, that's all I can ask for.
But, really importantly, and I'm going to get him on camera agreeing to this, if he gets to grid, he's taking me to film his whole experience for you.
I mean, I can't pay for you to get there.
Can grid
but
pay
you
for
can
me to get there?
No.
Oh.
They pay for me, that's it.
Where is the actual grid event this year?
Unofficially, and we don't know, but going off what we've seen is LA, and it's next year.
I can get us there.
I thought I'd seen.
I can get me there. I've just got to take a really big one for the team. And I think Matt knows what that is. And if I do get there, Milton, it's a big one that I'm taking for the team just to come and film your experience. But anyway, so here is a good luck for Milton for the time that's already happened for you guys, but not for us.
Thank you.
Yay,
More.
time travel.
More proof that there is actually a DeLorean outside my house.
Good Sporty Boy, that one.
Yeah, but not under 10 grand.
No.
So, that has been young Matthew.
Right.
That has been the magical boy wonder, also known as Milton, who is going to do us the f***ing deed at Grid.
Yeah, hey guys, bye guys.
Up and bam. This has been another episode of Shooting the Shift. We've got events videos coming out for you. We've got MX5 modification videos coming out for you, courtesy of Matthew. We have got Milton competing in whatever Milton decides he's competing in next, because he's some sort of driving boy wonder. And we've got me being a fat lad with a beard flying a drone. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch you on whatever form of whatever we do that we see you on next. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.